watching a brand new edition of India Prime with me, Sana Khan. The uncertainty within the AIDMK has taken a new turn with Deputy General Secretary TTV Dinakaran coming to terms with his and General Secretary VK Sasikala's marginalization within the party. Now, O. Selvam has described as the first victory, this development, in the Dharma Yudh or the crusade. The party seems to have redeemed itself by keeping Sasikala and her nephew out of the party affairs. This could mean a lot of things for the AIDMK and the different faction. What this does, however, is that this clears the way for two rival factions of the party to begin merger talks. But what could have forced Dinakaran to change his tone suddenly and say that he's distanced himself from the AIDMK, and what happens from here on as far as the ruling party is concerned? We will be talking more about this, but first let's take a look at the big news points emerging from Chennai. Well, now the latest in the party is TTV Dinakaran has stepped out of the AIDMK on his own. Sasikala Natarajan, being in prison, is out of the picture for several years now. Also, the two different camps, E. Palaniswamy and O. Selvam camps, they will be talking about merger tomorrow, a possible merger. Those talks are scheduled for tomorrow, and now sources say that Dinakaran's arrest on the bribery issue is imminent. It could happen today, tomorrow, anytime now. That brings us to a big question. Is there a new power struggle in the offing between EPS and OPS? Now, ousted AIDMK Deputy General Secretary Dinakaran has given his reasons to step aside. In the series of tweets, Dinakaran has said there that there is some fear among the party members due to which they want him and his family to stay away from the party. In his tweets, he states that he does not wish to be the reason for the party's split.
இருதரப்பும் நாங்கள் பேசி தொண்டர்கள் விருப்பம் எதுவோ மக்களுடைய விருப்பம் எதுவோ அதுவை நடைமுறைப்படுத்துவதற்கு இருதரப்பும் உட்கார்ந்து பேசி முடிவெடுப்போம் என்பதை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன்.
Whatever may be the decision, if it is good for the party, I will also cooperate. If it is good for the government, I will cooperate. That's all. I don't want to say much. I have no regrets because I don't have any expectations. So I don't have any disappointment.
Well, so the Mannargudi family is formally out of the equation. Let's head to Chennai now to understand the politics within the AIDMK. Joining me this evening is Mohan V. Raman. He's an actor. He joins me live from Chennai. AIDMK's KS Geeta also is with us live. And WION's correspondents Archit Sheshadri as well as Revati Rajivan are also standing by live in Chennai. Archit, before I go to my guests, I'd like to come to you. What have been the latest developments in the last couple of hours as far as Dinakaran is concerned? He's taken everybody by surprise by saying that he is ready to exit the party and decides to de-link himself and his family from the AIDMK.
Yeah, for the second time in just 2 months, quite a bit of political uncertainty and a bit of a shake-up with Tamil Nadu's ADMK party. In fact, we are standing right outside of Dinakaran's house here in Chennai, sort of been shuttling back and forth between Dinakaran's house and OPS's house. The wait-and-watch game is on yet again. 2 months ago, Selvam pulled a big surprise. He said that Sasikala forced him to resign. We saw that big commotion that took place outside of Marina Beach, and then fast forward April. In fact, almost 24 hours to the exact moment when Dinakaran and technically Sasikala, who's behind bars, was ousted from the ADMK party. So now the factions are again EPS, the current Chief Minister Edapadi Palaniswamy, and OPS. Sort of a back and forth. Will a merger happen? So that's the political landscape right now. What will happen? It's a big wait and watch game. But as far as Dinakaran goes, here's what we know at this hour. Police from Delhi have in fact left around 5:30. They're expected to be in Chennai within the coming hour to issue a summons. If he doesn't show up in court, he could be arrested. So the question is when, if he'll be arrested, when will that take place? Of course, this is for the alleged bribery case for the Election Commission. The ADMK party is so well known here. You know, the two leaves symbol and there was allegations that Dinakaran apparently used a middleman to bribe, and that is why police are now here. So he has a lot of different situations, a lot of ball to juggle in the air. So we'll have to see how all of that pans out. In fact, he was trying to get some of his MLAs, his ministers, to meet up this afternoon, but he had a court appointment for another case. This was the foreign exchange case, so that didn't happen. Very minimal support from those supporting MLAs, so it's a bit of an embarrassment, if you'd like to call it, for Dinakaran, and perhaps the end of the Mannargudi mafia, at least for now.
Absolutely. Let's, let me get this, go to KS Geeta of the AIDMK. Help us understand, how would you explain Dinakaran's decision to step aside, to step away from the AIDMK at this point? How do you look at it? What could be the reasons?
The reason is it's not no decision. He's been forced and he's basically a coward. He's not a very, it's just that whatever they were behind Jayalalitha's popularity, that whatever they did, they operated. And finally, when Jayalalitha passed away, these people were only because Sasikala was the power behind the whole issue, and she also went to jail. And then the last few weeks, which I've been telling that this election would not take place, and he's been caught for both the income tax rates as well as the FERA case, which was, he has now accepted himself to be an Indian citizen. Earlier he said he was a Singapore citizen. So all that is catching up on him, and he's not a very brave person. So basically he's a coward, and so now when things are catching up so fast, he has no other option but to relent, and which he's doing it now.
Okay, Ms. Geeta, do stay with me. Mr. Raman, would you agree that by removing Sasikala and Dinakaran, the party has in a way redeemed itself?
Redeemed itself? I don't know, but they have saved themselves.
Okay.
I don't think they have, redemption is not there, because let's view it logically. Pannirselvam was in power. It is said that EPS and group, especially Thambidurai and the others, convinced Sasikala, or maybe Sasikala wanted it, whichever way it was, but they brought Sasikala in and ousted EPS, OPS. Having done that, now they have decided that the presence of both Sasikala and the Mannargudi Mafia, as they call it, is dangerous for the party because it's growing. So they wanted to cut them off. Now, having cut this side off and having cut this side off, they thought they can be alone, but they're not alone. They need the support of OPS, because he, technically, as per the party constitution, he and Madhusudanan are the only two legal appointed functionaries of the party. He as treasurer and Madhusudanan as what they call Avai Talaivar. This is as per their own party constitution.
Okay.
There can be no deputy general secretary, there can be no acting general secretary. All that argument they have put forth in the election commission is a very valid argument as far as the party constitution is concerned.
Right.
Therefore, despite the fact that Edapadi and company have got 100 plus MLAs, OPS had only a dozen or even less than a dozen, whatever it be, they were still able to match them, and the symbol got frozen. And Dinakaran's past is slowly catching up with him.
Right.
I have one query to ask most political pundits in Tamil Nadu. This query is simple. Where is Mr. Natarajan? Where is Dinakaran's brother Divakaran?
Right.
From what I gathered in the various magazines and whatnot, which carry steamy stories, so to speak, there is a problem within the family.
Okay.
Within the Mannargudi Mafia, they have not accepted TTV Dinakaran's supreme rise to supreme power, and there is some resentment within.
All right.
So have the others gone and infected people?
Okay.
Now, this is something we need to watch out.
You know, this politics within the AIDMK, we got your point, Mr. Raman, is becoming increasingly complex. If I can go across to WION's correspondent, Revati Rajivan, who's standing by in Chennai. Revati, now, you know, how are these two factions being seen? There are talks of a merger, and there have been, you know, divisions for so long now, ever since after Jayalalitha's death. Soon after, these divisions began to crop up. How is the AIDMK planning to move forward? Will there be a merger? Who will lead a couple of big questions that still remain unanswered, and perhaps an answer will not be found in weeks or months to come ahead.
All right, let me repeat that question again really quickly to Revathi here about the merger. What is the future? Will the party split? Will they reunite with the EPS and the OPS camps? Revathi.
Well, at this point, when we look at the kind of reactions that have come in from different leaders of both the camps, it's clear that AIADMK in Tamil Nadu is split into not just 2 but 3 different groups. One on the OPS side, who is for a merger, terms and conditions apply, and 2 groups in the EPS camp. One which is okay for the merger in spite of the conditions, even if it means that they have to oust Sasikala and Dinakaran, and on the other side, people who are supporting Dinakaran and Sasikala. Now, if you look at the numbers, both of them claim that they have the numbers. Both of them, both Dinakaran supporters and anti-Dinakaran group, both of them claim that they have the numbers, but there have not been any statements. Remember, even as we speak now, there has not been yet even a single formal meeting between the 2 camps. It is just that leaders from both the camps are coming out and putting out statements that these are our conditions, and yes, we could meet them, and maybe we will not meet this particular condition. These are different statements that are coming forward. Now, yes, a possibility of a merger is open, but the terms and conditions that would come in the way of this merger plays a very crucial role. OPS has put out the condition that the entire Managudi family must be outside the party. They've agreed to that, but there are also conditions like a probe into former Chief Minister Jayalalitha's death. Would they be okay with that? And would they be okay making O. Paneerselvam the Chief Minister, considering EPS is already the Chief Minister? Would he be willing to give that position to OPS? Would he compromise on that and maybe be okay with just taking a finance minister position or any other portfolio for that matter?
Right.
So all these terms and conditions that the camps will put forward as an eligibility criteria or something that that needs to be fulfilled for the merger to happen, these conditions is what will decide the possibility of a merger.
Again, yeah, a quick recap with just sort of the waiting and everybody, the OPS camp as well, sort of trying to get the power. Same with the EPS camp, even with Dinakaran sort of out of the picture for the most part, with Sasikala being in jail. It is still a game not over. It seems like we're just going back and forth every few months. So
absolutely.
Now it really
in fact, let me get in Miss K.S. Geeta on this. Miss K.S. Geeta, talking about the number game over here, we're hearing that there are about 9 MLAs still with Dinakaran. Do you see any threat to the government there?
Definitely, there's, even if these people merge, you do not understand that the OPS and the EPS basically do not get along, and it is 2 communities, it's the Counters and the Tevers, and you know, from the Counters is Thambidore, Sengoten and EPS, and Sengoten is also a hurt tiger, and he has got his own future plans which he had, and he's quite disappointed. So this merger may be for the time being, but don't expect this to be a permanent solution. And Mr. Mr. Raman was asking, what about Mr. Natarajan? Mr. Natarajan is very seriously ill. He's had a kidney failure and he's almost on the way to hell or heaven. So he's not going to be there. And Divakaran is also very sick. So the whole family is sick, plus they have all split, which is very true. And they are very upset with what Dinakaran has done. Dinakaran has also not met his aunt. And he has not met her in Bangalore, and he's come back because he has not followed what she had asked him to do. So this is one side of the family story. But as far as the party goes, I mean, Thambidore is also not a very reliable person, nor is OPS. OPS has got his own agenda. So again, there is going to be, in case, I don't think so this will come through, but if it does come through, there is definitely going to be again an ego clash between all these people, because they all have their own future agendas, and I don't think so this government is going to last. And the center, I think, should come into this whole issue and take a stern decision, because the farmers, the students and the common man is suffering, and the politicians are all busy with their own power and who's to sit on the chief minister's gaddi. And this is not, I think, the right thing, and I don't think so the center should entertain this any further and take a decision as soon as possible to send a full-time governor and to suspend this assembly and keep it in suspended animation, because I don't think so anybody is bothered about the administration. They're all busy looting. They're all Yes, they're all busy looting.
So Ms. K.S. Geeta, they're calling for an intervention from the centre as far as the state politics is concerned. Mr. Raman, you want to come in at this point? And I also want to take in your opinion on what Ms. K.S. Geeta said, that this might be some sort of a temporary arrangement, even if this merger does happen, but it's not, you know, a permanent solution anyway.
See, you had a tall leader like Jayalalitha who is no more. Now, when that vacuum is there, unless it gets filled by and large with something acceptable, there is bound to be some friction, some gaps, some wobbles, etc. What everybody is forgetting is, it's a very simple proposition which, if I were in the OPS or the EPS camp, what I would suggest is simple. Let Edappadi continue as Chief Minister. Rewind the clock to just post Amma's death. At that time, who were the office bearers of the party? Madhusudanan and O. Pannirselvam. They were the only two official appointed office bearers by Jayalalitha. They go back to their posts. All appointments thereafter, removals thereafter are considered null and void.
But what happens to the aspirations?
The party gets its two leaves symbol. What aspiration? Please tell me, who is more powerful? Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi? Sonia Gandhi is sitting as the party president. Manmohan Singh ji was the prime minister. Who was more powerful? So it is possible to be a power center of AIADMK if the party is with you. So they will create two power centers, which they did not want, and therefore they merged and they tried to bring in Sasikala as one single power center. Temporarily, for a truce, they have to do this. Maybe they will go into a formula like first 2 years you be Chief Minister, afterwards next 2 years I will be Chief Minister. So it is quite possible that anything can happen.
All right. Ms. K.S. Geeta wanted to respond to you,
There is enough assets that the cake, the cake is big enough for them to share it and keep eating for the next 4.5 years. As far as Ms. Geeta's other point, centre should intervene. Under what provision of law can the centre intervene? On what basis can they intervene? If you talk of lack of administration, lack of concern for people, every single state in India will have to be taken over by the respective governors. Please tell me which state has got such excellent administration like Singapore? Let's face facts. You can't, you cannot just take over. When there is an elected, when there is an...
You're right.
No, when there...
I agree with you. I agree with you that every state is in a mess and there is no clean administration in every state. But here things are really, really bad. And you know, each of these ministers, if you really rate them, each one of them has got nothing less than 10,000 crores. I can prove it, and I have been the one who has filed the case on Jayalalitha's death. And at that time, when I approached Mr. OPS to have a commission, he didn't even bother. And today he is talking about commission when he lost his power. Don't you think that he is putting up a two-faced game? If he really meant that he cares, if he cares for Jayalalitha, he should have asked for this commission right away in December, right away in January, right away in February. Even after that, I tried meeting him. He is busy with his own things and all this drama. I can expose each one of them. Not one of them is serious about Jayalalitha's death. All that they're doing for public drama, for their own ends, because each one has got something to hide. And that is the reason I'm saying, though I am a member of AIDMK myself for the last 24 years, 25 years, these people, I think there should be a change in politics, change in politicians. At least let us start from Tamil Nadu and let us have not these funny, silly sentiments that, saying like first the administration is very important, the people are more important than party politics. I don't care what you think about me. I'm a person who wants clean politics. You might laugh at me, I'm not worried, but I think this time has come for the state. Everybody is expecting for clean politics.
Right.
And that
in fact, let's just take this forward before we completely run out of time. Mr. Raman, how do you see the party going forward?
Okay, quick rebuttal.
Very quick.
Quick rebuttal. How do I see the party go forward? They will shake hands. They will work together. They will stay in power for as long as they can. The center cannot do a damn thing because they have at least 115 to 120 members of the Legislative Assembly with them. Whichever way, -9 here, then they add the 12, so they are still up by 3. There is no problem. As far as Geeta ji is concerned, she says, people are sick, people are sick. If people are so sick, they would not have taken 4,000 rupees per head in the RK Nagar constituency. People are the same. People just know that come what may, they are not going to be looked at, so let me make little money now. The people are reflecting exactly what the ministers are doing, or the ministers are reflecting like the people. People settle for 4,000 crores, these ministers are settling for 4 years. They know fully well they are not going to get re-elected unless they really deliver.
Miss,
now, have the people changed? They have not changed. They have not changed in any part of the nation. Let us face facts. Poverty is different. I am sitting in my air-conditioned room and I know Mrs. Geeta. People, please remember this.
Sir, I predicted in December this party is going to break into 3. Everybody made fun of me. I said the symbol is going to be frozen. Everybody made fun of me. When I filed the case, everybody made fun of me. Today I have lot of evidences and I have witnesses for everything. The medical reports are terrible. If you read it and go through it line by line, then there is a lot to talk about it. And you know, it's not, I'm not trying to joke. I'm quite serious of whatever I've taken up.
Miss K.S. Geeta, we understand what you're trying to say, and you're saying you've been right all along. So it's imperative for me to ask you, as a member of the AIDMK, where is the party headed? Do you think that you know, the damage has been done to the image of the party, and now perhaps a party like the DMK will reap benefits of whatever is going on within the AIDMK? What's the future? Will there be a governing body that will handle the party? Will there be a one person, EPS, OPS, anybody within the party who can take the party forward or not?
No, none of these people have the caliber. They're all talking today because to save their own 4 years of power and to save their own skins. You wait and see, they will have big ego clashes. You have seen in the 3 months what all changes have taken place. On December 29, the same fellows burst crackers and distributed sweets even before 30 days of Jayalalitha's death mourning. So you know what these fellows are. They're all foxes. They will change their skin as soon as possible for power. They will do anything for power. They have no commitment for the party. They have no commitment towards Mr. MGR or towards Jayalalitha. It is just that they are using their names. Each of these fellows by themselves usually cannot even garner the votes that they think that they can. They are not capable of any administration. And not that DMK is thinking that they can fish in troubled waters. Even that is going to fail. You say there is going to be a system change. There is going to be people who want to change. There is going to be a new system, new party, new people will come. It's very soon, and Tamil Nadu will be the first state to show the way for it. I am 100% sure about that.
All right. That's good of you to be so optimistic at this point. Mr. Raman, how tenable do you think is it now for E. Palaniswamy to continue as the Chief Minister after, you know, the recent developments, OPS back in the party?
No, it's a question of what kind of power sharing they are willing to do. So it's a question of agreeing. Now there will be an agreement. They will come to an agreement. They will stay. Geeta is answering her own points. She says they will do anything to stay in power. They are all people who will change their skin, etc., etc. That is what is needed to stay in power. If they are capable enough to forget their own community or change their skin, etc., they are going to stay there. They will stay there successfully. We have seen people with greater differences coming together. Here, please remember, they have one thing. They all are very unsure about the next election. So they want to enjoy the term to its fullest, to the last day. If they've got 4 years and 4 months, they would like to enjoy all 4 years and 4 months. They will compromise and do anything, sell their soul, but stay in power.
Right.
This is what they will do because they are hardened politicians. I wish I shared Ms. Geeta's optimism of a utopia coming in Tamil Nadu. Nothing will change. We will see the next election happening. Again, money changing hands, and then we will see a national election coming. Then the alliances will change.
Right.
The central government will put pressure whenever it wants through income tax and other such statutory
so
bodies.
be it a merger, we all agree that the party will do whatever it takes to stay in power. It has the power right now. Whether the merger will trigger infighting, for power based on seniority or caste or whatever, that's another thing, remains to be seen. But for a quick update, let me go across to Archit, my colleague who's standing by in Chennai before we wrap up. Archit, the spotlight right now is indeed on Dinakaran. What happens tonight, perhaps tomorrow? He is, in focus right now.
Absolutely. That is the big question of the hour. When and if he will be arrested, what is going to happen with regards to that? Will there be a party merger? So quite a bit of unanswered questions and the future of the ADMK party. That is sort of the question that everybody's waiting for, the million-dollar question. What will happen? In the meantime, the DMK is sort of waiting and keeping a close eye, seeing when they can swoop in.
All right. On that note, I'd like to wrap up this edition of India Prime. Thanks so much, Mr. Mohan V. Raman, also Ms. K.S. Geeta, my colleague Archit Sheshadri and Revati Rajivan for joining us on the show. Taking a short break. Be right back with other news and updates. Don't go anywhere.